Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Tuesday, August 17. Starting on the weekly chart here, we're looking at the ASX, of course, as intermediate wave 1 and 2 and minor wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, and then we're looking for 5-minute waves up through here. So we're in our little last leg for wave 3 here. I'm trying to tie this into the end of the month, which will be also the Jackson Hole, Wyoming Fed's meeting. Not that we're expecting anything major to come out of that, but just a date that we can work to. So once we've got that wave 3 top in, so not this week but next week, late next week, then we'll look at intermediate wave 4 that can pull back to the 38.2%. Well, it's good to see that wave 3 longer now. That's good. So let's just take that up a little bit there to the, well, I'll just leave it there. So that will bring that back down to wave 4 here. So that's a bit significant, isn't it? You know, in all of that, just as a bit of a starting point there. So we could just dramatize this here a little bit further. Time that makes a new high here. Yeah, that should be okay. And then up to 8,000. We know 8's a profit-taking number, so we're going to see that hit. And we're looking for a larger wave 2 to play out at that point. This will be in line with the commodity index and also the not the ASX200, beg your pardon, the ASX that we looked at yesterday. Let me just get this in screen here. This is a weekly chart for RIO, but in the US. So this is RIO in the US. We're also looking at this here as primary wave 1 and 2 here, and then intermediate wave 1, 2 and 3 here. So I'm thinking RIO is already at that wave 3 that we're just looking at here now for this one here. Okay, so doing some sort of wave 4 and then another 5 waves up to make wave 3 at that point. So slightly different count, the resources, because the ASX200 is more on the banking side of things. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and that fits into the commodity cycle, the large commodity cycle that we've been looking at with Goldman Sachs. The ASX here, which I wanted to have a look at, this is going back to 2010 here, so it's quite a long period here. We're looking at, well, obviously this is a correction, so we're looking at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here. Then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 the third wave, fourth wave, and going up for the fifth wave here. So going into that, this is why I'm showing you this, because this is the COVID low here, and looking for this move up, we need to take these highs out here to create wave 5. So just on the daily chart here, let's go in, and a bit squashy, but so in this case for the ASX, which is a nice, you know, it's our exchange, so it kind of encompasses, you know, all of those stocks within that. So we're looking at intermediate wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off here, but then for wave 1 and 2 here. So it's slightly different once again, but what it does do is that because we're getting 5 waves here and we haven't taken out the top here, that means it's got to be wave 1 here. You know, then back for wave 2. So we've got a more of a bull market going on here. You know, and the reason I'm saying this for is because Bob Prechter feels that we're in for a serious top before the end of the year, and he could be right, but I'm just looking for ways that we could push up further. And of course, if we look at the might as well have a look at it again while we're here. With my little... Maybe I've got it on the... Need to go to the monthly here for this or something, or weekly. Let's try weekly. Okay, weekly does it. Yep. So this is also, I think, really interesting because the commodity index for Goldman Sachs, we've got down here I've got as an A, B, C, D, and E here. So as a triangle, descending triangle is a wave 4. Of course, that could be counted slightly differently as well, but I won't go into that. But the main takeaway here is that we've got from the COVID low, we've got 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here for wave 1 and 2 here. And then pushing this up for wave 3, 4, and 5 here. So this is going to go up for quite some time. And I mean, that would create inflation, wouldn't it? You know, I mean, it's quite scary when you look at Cuba, you know, Venezuela, El Salvador going into hyperinflation. That's pretty sort of scary, and you know, commodities, you know, can create that inflation. But I think it was interesting. I was just been looking at that how hyperinflation comes in and what are the stages of it and how the government reacts to it. And there's a lot of similarities between what's going on in Cuba now to what's going on in the US in terms of what's happening in the media and what government's doing and so on and so on. So I think it's all really sort of fascinating, and I think it's, you know, we're living in it and we need to understand it. And a little bit of gold and silver wouldn't hurt to have on board. But obviously this will push the property prices up. But also too, when you do get hyperinflation, the property prices stop going up and then they collapse once they hit that hyperinflation because everybody wants to cash in, you know. Anyway, sorry about all that. Let's go back to where we were here. So wave 1 here and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going up into wave 5 here. So let's just get a closer view on that. So from 4 here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going up for wave 5 here. So in this stretch here, we've got 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, and going up for wave 5. So I'm thinking that the end of the month, even slightly before that, the Jackson Hole meeting maybe nothing comes out of it, but it turns anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like sell the rumor, buy the fact kind of stuff. I'm not quite sure, but you want to be sort of a little bit careful holding any financial stocks, at least coming into that weekend, which is not this weekend, it's next weekend, and that will be Thursday, Friday. So you don't want to get caught with your pants down on the Monday. Do you know what I mean? So coming into that Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you want to be sort of, we'll see how it looks as well at that point, you know. So let's just cruise in a little further. So we'll go to the 4 hour, then the 1 hour. So picking it up from that blue wave 4. That's our blue wave 4 here. And so you can see where we are. This is the 25th here of August, and this is the 30th of August. So I think that sort of cleaning up, in the inside of this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you don't want to be Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday here, because if anything happens at that Wyoming meeting, the Federal Reserve meeting at Jackson Hole, then, it's going to come out over the weekend, which is going to show up in the futures market on Sunday night, and then it's going to, be in this point here. Apart from that, we've got all this week and next week to continue to talk about that, but I'm the pattern man. So yesterday we were expecting wave 4 to come into play, so that's done its job there, and we'll be looking for wave 5 to move up for wave 3, and unless I've made a mistake, I think I'm okay with this at this point. Just, I haven't really studied that there. I'm just gone into the guessing game a little bit, but we got the turn and we'll get this turn. So that should be about right at that point, at least. That's down at 50%. So normally we look for 40%, 30, but 50, that's okay too. So yeah, the only mistake that I could make with this is that green wave is here and that this green wave is here. But either way, we're still pushed to the upside. And that would probably leave that at 38.2% at that point there. Yep, spot on. Okay, so I'll need to consider that. Or if anybody else has got a count here, let us know. So we've broken that trend line, which is what wave 4s do. So we don't need that now. And let's go to the 1 hour chart and have a closer look at this situation. Yeah, I mean, I was happy with wave 1 here and 2 here, but then I've got this counted as wave 1 and 2 here, which I'm not sure, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then all the way up for 5 here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Still, we did everything right. We've got everything sort of done here. We'll just need to have a look at that. Just going to bring this move coming down here. I can do it on the 100 ticks, but this is 10 ticks. So it does look like we've landed now. So this is the whole move down through here. It looks like an A wave to here, B wave to here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for that, and 4 and 5. So I think that's the ABC. I'll just have to sort of give that a bit more. But we're getting this impulse wave here, which is good. There's going to be resistance at in this block here at 7.6. So once 7.6 becomes the support, then you'll know where you are from that. And then also too, you'll need to also check on this as well. So that can also pull back here. It looks like a bit of a corrective move here, but in one way or another, it can pull back here before heading higher to the 76, and then it's going to have problems across the 76. It'll spend time here before pushing up again at that stage. So long as you're aware of those kinds of moves, that's very, very rough indeed. But yeah, so that's how that's looking at the moment. So I'm just going to put this back over to that screen. And yeah, so that's all there. And so we need to look at the banks for this. Now, I'm going to show, I normally do CBA first, but I'm going to put in ANZ first. So with ANZ here, let's just go to the tick chart. So with the tick chart here for ANZ, we've got this wave 1 here and 2 here, and 1, 2, and going up for, so we've got green wave 3 in here, looking for green wave 4 to come back. And I'm showing you this before because CBA came down quite hard for all of this. So we'll just see how that sits. We've got a couple of long trades here with this in it, but we're still expecting one more move to the upside. We can see that, you know, this was one leg, this is some other leg going sideways here, and this is all of, you know, one way, that's all kind of the same family there. So we could see some sort of ABC pattern here for this before moving up a little bit higher. But we'll still keep that 30 as target, and that will bring us into CBA, which has dropped faster and taken out our stops. It's a bit unfortunate, but that's trading. We've had this position in that position. We had a position here that we got to break even, and that's where we are. We've got, I think we're going to get some sort of bounce here now. I mean, we're on higher volume, but the range in the bar is very small. So that means that there's buyers coming in at that price. Just makes sense, doesn't it? Because if that range, if with all of that volume there, if that range was really long, then the sellers would be in control. But because we've got increased volume in a shorter range, that means that, well, buyers must be coming in and soaking up those sellers, or what's left of those sellers, because the first damage came into this bar here, which was long. Well, it's long compared to the second bar, isn't it? So the range was diminishing at that point, so it was drying up a little bit. But I had to put the stop somewhere, and I'm all about protecting, and edging forward rather than going into la land. So when we have a look on the tick chart for this, I mean, our target was 110, but we just didn't quite get that. I should have done it at 1.8. I normally take percentage at 1.8 and then take the rest at 110. I don't know why I didn't do that. It's a bit hard to think sometimes when you got doing videos. You got so many things to think about. Yeah, I mean, we could call this wave 4, based on what we could see with ANZ, yeah. I can count this down as impulsive to here, then a B wave here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So that it's all sort of fitting, but we do need it to pop from this point, and it hasn't crossed over the thing of wave 1 here. It has pulled back a lot, so, from here roughly to here, it's pulled back 61.8%. Maybe it's up for 1 and back for 2 in a bigger bull market. But that's not going to take us, we can't go there just yet. So we would need to pull, let's just say that we get 5 waves up here, right? And then we get the turn down. Anything above that would take us into another cycle to go higher at that point, right? But this is where it can end at this point. Unless I've made a mistake in here, and I need to label these. I mean, we just didn't see any big wave 4s in here. All these corrections are smaller than wave 2, basically. So, a little bit tricky there on that note. But we'll see how we go with that. And did we did make a new high, so that's okay. Put that over there. And plus, we need that 5th wave in the ASX as well. So we need that to crank up at that point. So that's where we are with the ASX and the banks that take us into that space, So now we can look at the resources. The other thing that I need to say here as well is that when the banks do top out up here, and if they do top out, that's when the resource, our FMG, BHP, those sorts of things they should be bottoming out at that point, because they've been working in the opposite to each other, haven't they? So it's just money being changed from one place to another. So we need to surf that move, really. So that's what we need to do. Where do we start? So at the top of my list here, my watch list, I've got China here, which we'll just have a bit of a look at. As I mentioned, we'll have a look next week, because I don't think the China A50 is really summing up the Chinese market as such. I mean, we know that Chinese US stocks are being hammered, and this is being reflected here. So it's not really, we need to have a look at the Shenzhen's A and B and the Shanghai and so on, so, and the comp and so on. So we'll do that. I'll get my other charting program, Trading Levels charting program, up to date, and we'll have a look at that. We'll just have a look at India while we're here as well. Now, as I mentioned here, we've had a couple of trades in here, as you can see, those green lines, and we were looking to take profit at the 1650. We understood that it can move a little bit higher and it could still do that, but we're not interested in that. We will be seeing some sort of correction here at some point, so we're just going to not do anything whatsoever. We've had our trade, we're going to allow it to unfold, and we'll pick it up again. I mean, I haven't really studied all of this in here. I've just gone into the guessing game a little bit. There could be some sort of correction across here and another move up there, but otherwise, if that's not the case, and this market doesn't have to move with the other markets, but we're also looking at that wave 3 up there for that as well. So let's move on to the iron ore. So with the iron ore here, we've been looking at this as the A wave. We know this is a corrective move in 3 waves. So that's telling me that we're going to be taking out that top, and that would be in line with the commodity super cycle that we're looking at as well. So we could look at this as a much larger wave 4 here in play. But as an A wave and a B wave, and we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. We're not finished here yet. I won't go into that at the moment. And this is what, FMG and that are looking at as well. So when we look at, let's have a quick look at FMG, if I can find it. There we go, Fortescue. So we're looking at wave 3 here. We know that this is corrective as well, so that means we'll be taking out that top. Yes, we did take the top out here, but we haven't done it in 5 waves. I suppose we could do that, as wave 1. We could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as wave 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave here with an A and some sort of B and C here for the B wave, and then 5 waves up for this. So we could have wave 5 top there, but it's not a very good 5 wave structure. It's okay-ish, but the proportions are not correct, and the wave 4 pullback was really quite severe in that case as well. So I don't think that's the case. So I think we're better off staying, and this is looking like a C wave down here. So I think that we're okay. And like I said, when CBA and all that top out, and we'll see iron ore and all that bottom out as well, and we'll be able to get look for the turn in that particular point there as well. And BHP, I think I'm just going to use the US BHP here, because once again we've got the wave 4 over here, and it makes a nice triangle as an A, B, C, D and E wave over here. It may or may not be correct, but it doesn't really matter, because I would only go long here or go bullish if the 80 became the tested support here. So while that's not the case, it's banging its head against here, and slightly, so we are seeing it doing the right thing here. In terms of a triangle pattern though, we would see the move come down while we're here, so not that much further down really. So down into the 50-60%, but we have to watch triangles because they can come down to the 70-80%. See how far that's taken the top out here for that. This one's pulled way back up here. This one's pulled really quite low down here. So yeah, but basically as a triangle moves on, they become to a balance point within everything. So finding that 50% retracement level from wherever the highs are, or we can just go from here to here. We can do that from here to here, because that will be the balance line that we'll be looking for at that point. So just roughly there. So that's, right in between the 50-60% is the balance line of the whole market here, So buying anywhere under that balance point would be okay, and that's what we'll be looking for at that point. I'll leave that there, so it'll remind us next time, and we'll see how this plays out here, I mean, it might be that this is just the A wave down to here, then a B wave here, and then a C wave down here, and then up from that point. I'm not quite sure. We need to drill into this, but if that's the high there, then we look at that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming down into here. So we'll see a bounce off here. We'll check on that to see if it's corrective, and then we'll see this. So this is an easier pattern than the BHP that we're looking at the moment with this one here, the weekly one here. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how to count this one, because sometimes you just need to ponder these things, you know, flick through all the charts and all the different time frames and compare them. And because I'm a bit short for time, I don't have that pleasure of pondering. So, but I do see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for this. So I do see an impulse wave here. So I've just been curious of how this plays out here. This would be a nice switch pattern here. The switch setup and technique is on our website, and it's fantastic little setup to do that. There's a little switch in here that would have taken you onto this one. Yeah, it's a fantastic little setup. It's good for buying at tops and selling at tops and buying at bottoms, and also within the trend as well. But yeah, the other side to this coin here is that when I don't know what's going on, I relate back to the trading levels, and this is 50 here, so second strongest number 5. So in a way, this is sort of the arrival here, the reaction here, and the first high above the level here. So kind of want to see it drop down into this. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out at that point. And let's cruise on to CRUDE here. So we're in the middle of the correction here. I don't know if we need to put the B wave under here for this just yet to see if this is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for the B wave. So we're in the B of the B or something. So I'm not that fussed at the moment with this. We'll just leave it. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to waste time in it. It's just not finished. That, you know, we just haven't had this B wave and we haven't had the C wave here just yet. So yeah, nothing to do here just yet. And like I said, once we're down here, we'll have a look at energy stocks a little bit more. But in Australia, we've really got, I mean, BHP are trying to dump BHP want to go green. They want to dump all their oil and gas over to Woodside. So that will probably happen. So if we're looking at Woodside and Santos, and that, we'll need to look at the gas market. But I know the gas market has not bottomed yet either. So there's still a way to go for that as well. So yeah, the gas market's a bit different. Right. So let's cruise on here to I'll do copper, then gold. We'll do copper, Australian dollar, and gold. So yeah, it's kind of in that wave 4 again. You know, that's how I sort of see it all. You know, it's yeah, I just think that it should be dropping here, you know, to finish off. You know, we've got this A, B, and C here. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. The B wave could get uglier in here as well. I don't know, but I know that it's not finished. That's all. We need to see it move down, which is like the Australian dollar as well. That's just not doing what it's told. So we've got wave 3 up here with an ABC here for the AU. So we know that it's corrective. We know at some point that top's going to be taken. We know that the Australian dollar is going to be above 80 again at some point. So this move down through here, as you know, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, then 1, 2, 3 and 4 here. And it's just reluctantly won't go down. It shouldn't go back above here. If it did, then the wave 4 is not finished and wave 4 would have to go over here. But it's really dragging its feet across here, isn't it? You know, but because it's got overlapping wave structures, it does mean that it's corrective, and because it's corrective here as part of the trend, so it's a continuation pattern. So it's a corrective continuation pattern within the trend. So we should see lower ground below this one here down into the 72, maybe even a bit lower. I don't know, because I'd have to go into the guessing game with this. I know, I understand some of it as an A, B, C here for this, but yeah, is this 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 to come down here further? Yeah, anyway, it's just not ready to buy yet. So a rock and a hard place for the commodities at the moment. So we need finance to top, and then that will all come into play. And spot gold weekly here. This is a weekly chart for US spot gold, and There's two ways that I can look at this, of course, is that we can look at it as a irregular flat, as an A and a B and a C wave to here. It doesn't look very good as a C wave, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then just go straight up from that point. Or we look at the triangle pattern. So we've got the A, the B as a descending triangle, as an A, B, C, D and E here for this. So we've been tracking this first little move up here. I'm going to go from the weekly chart to the tick chart. That will just take us straight to the chase, and we'll need to bring in some more data. So from the low here, we can look at it in, let me just bring this across here for this wave D here. So a couple of ways we could look at it. We can look at it as as the orange wave A here, and orange wave B here, and orange wave C here for wave D. And this area up here is the 50-60% retracement level. So that's all good and possible at that point, even though I've got it way up there. And then that would bring us down in 3 waves. If that was correct as an orange wave, A, B, and C, then it would bring us down into an A, B, and C wave here for wave E at that point. I don't have that over there. We can just get rid of that. We can borrow that. That would be here. That would be here. So yeah, we could borrow this one here and turn that into and then that would be that wave 4 coming into play there, and then that would be the end of that. That would be the end of the correction. So yeah, so we could also look at this copy text. Probably got it already there, but just so in the first instance for the triangle pattern, it could be the orange wave A, B, and C for the D wave done here. And then we look at an A wave here, B wave, and C wave for the E wave. Or we could just have this blue wave A, blue wave B, blue wave C here just for the A wave. And then we need to come down for the B wave back down here, and then the C wave back up for the D wave. So it's a little bit tricky. And the other count is that we just call this wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and we're going into a third wave up here, and then we'll have a fourth wave across the 1800 here with a classic trading levels pattern here, and then 5 waves up. So if we do get 5 waves up of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, then the irregular flat pattern that we had a look at, then that would be in play. So there's a little bit that's going on here, and I just need more evidence to figure it out. That's all. So yeah, if we get 5 waves up as 1 and 2, and then we could look at this, quite a nice third wave really, because we counted up as 1 and 2. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, so we've been through all of that, and now we're going through this little bit here, which is 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and going up for wave 5. Wave 5 may or may not be finished. It may have a bit more of an extension to it. Probably that's corrective. So yeah, it's going to go up higher. So there's more to that just yet. But that's okay. That will come up and hit 18. So we can just sort of, may even go further than 18, but that's the profit taking number there. So there's a variety of things that can happen at this point. So I should put that over there. I can put that there. I can put that there, or I can put this wave A here. So I've got a couple of things cooking here. So I just think we just wait to see what we get. Do we get 3 waves up? Then if we get 3 waves up, because we pull back down quite deeply here, then we'll know we're still in the triangle pattern. But if we get 5 waves up of 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and then 5 going up, then we'll know where we are. And if we get 5 waves up, don't forget we're going to get 3 waves back again. So it's a bit like this here. If we get 5 waves up here, then we're going to get 3 back again. So if we look at this bigger pattern as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up there, 5 waves up, well then we're going to come back in 3 waves, you know. So it will look a little bit like this. Let's just say that wave 3 takes us to here somewhere, and we get some sort of ABC here for wave 4, and then we get wave 5 coming up here, which this leg here will be roughly the same as this leg, and then we'll get an A and a B and a C wave back here, and then we'll go up into a 3rd wave at that point. So we need to see if we get 5 waves up or 3 waves up. That's for that. What else have we got? How's Newcrest doing? Yeah, it's just bouncing there because I was figuring that with Newcrest that I've still got stuff in this, but 1 here, an A and a B and a C wave here for this, so it ain't finished here yet. So yeah, so we'll just continue to play that out. There's nothing that we can do about that at the moment. What else do we need to look at here? I think that would do the trick. I'll just have a look at the US dollar because that obviously a commodity thingy bobby. My economy watch list 92. So I'll need to go from the weekly. I'm just going to go to the 4-hour chart. I think we did look at this yesterday, didn't we? Yeah, so yeah, we'll still look for that wave 5, C or 4 up there, and we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and ABC for 4 and up for 5. If we get 5 waves coming down here, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 coming down here, then it's likely that we've got a top in play at the moment. But I can still see here that you know, we could, unless that is a truncated low from something over here. But yeah, anyway, we're not there yet for this. It's doing a good job looking for support on here, I have to say, as well, like hitting it twice, but we'll see. The arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, an ABC pattern, and then up again, so we'll need to watch for that. But otherwise it will have that first high above the level, end up finding this 93, the top of minor group 1, as the resistance rather than the support, and then that will help us confirm the move down. But in coming down, we want the number 9, we want the 2 within minor group 1, so it's 1, 2 and 3, just to keep it simple. We want when the number 2 becomes the resistance, the retested resistance, then we know that's what we're looking for over here and didn't get. If that occurs, when and if that occurs, then the market will be pulled down to the closest largest number at 90, and then if it goes to 90, then we'll be seeing it at 88 at that point. But this turn is important for many things, and you know, this might top and turn at the, you know, the Jackson Hole meeting as well. That's the other thing. Alrighty, I've waffled on way too long, so I'll leave it at that. Thanks for putting up with me. Enjoy the day. Cheers.